What's going on, guys? One of the two fat guys in skivvies coming at you today with this special video. Today, I wanted to bring you guys Summoner's War. This is a game that is near and dear to my heart. I play it every day, and it's something that I've been doing now for, maybe 6 years, maybe 7 years. This game's been around for a very long time. My wife actually introduced me to it. And she doesn't play anymore. That's the ironic part. But I'm still all in. So this is Summoner's War. This is a mobile game. And this is something that let me say this. Summoner's War has a ton. There's a lot of dedicated content creators out there for Summoner's War on the interwebs. So by no means am I encroaching on that territory. So there's plenty of. If you guys searched this and you stumbled here specifically for Summoner's War stuff, and you're like a Summoner's War pro and expert, I'm probably not gonna bring you anything that you don't already know. There's lots of people out there that do Summoner's War content that they're going to do a lot more than me. So really for me, John and I do this, started this channel to have some fun together. And, the reality is there's only so much we can stream or we can record when we're able to get together. So, from time to time, like you guys have heard, he's done some episodes with my wife, while I was at work. And so, there'll be opportunities for me to do some things, while he's at work. So anyway, that's kind of the whole reason and the whole point to bring in Summoner's War, here to you. It's just because it's something that I'm really into, and I know it's something I've talked to John about, but he's not, he doesn't really have the patience and the dedication to get into a game like this. So yeah. So I just thought I'd bring to you guys a Summoner's War video, and really basically just with this one, I'm just going to go through my dailies, kind of go through my daily routine that I do on this. So I'll probably not go too in depth, because at some point there'll be, maybe an opportunity if people are actually interested. There might be an opportunity for me to, really go through some of the particulars about the game and really kind of dive into that. But, for the most part, I log in. This is my island. And, I log in. I collect all the resources, the mana and the crystals and energy, and go through here. I'm going to check these shops. See if there's anything in their shops, like that mystical scroll that I want to buy. And we'll check the other shop. Nothing. I checked my areas down here to see if, any of these monsters needed to be leveled up. That all looks good. And so there's a few, daily things. So when I say dailies, right, this is kind of like a couple of aspects. Today's probably a day I'll do a little bit more, but at the very least, I usually like to go in and do daily missions. So, see, here with the challenges, we got, all of these missions here. So, I like to do them. You get all these rewards just for doing them. Let's be real. At the point that you are where I am in the game, you've been playing for this long, and really, you're just kind of doing end game content. The dailies aren't 100%, but it's just a routine. It's something that I kind of go through. So we'll just go in. And oh yeah, it's letting me know about this. This is content I really don't like. A lot of people really don't like that content. So anyway, we'll go in here into the island. This is kind of where you can see all the different content things you can explore. Kairos Dungeon is where a lot of the content is at this point. Alright, so today the elemental dungeon is fire. I'm just going to run it once, just for the reward. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit play. You guys probably see me moving this all over the place. Trying to keep it out of the way so I don't bring it up. But yeah, so this is the Hall of Fire. This is an elemental dungeon. Oh, I still have that going. Good. This is a new phone, so all of this stuff is relatively new. And this is super quick and easy. We'll close the pop-ups, and we'll just do this one real quick. I don't know how many of these I'll post. We'll see if anybody's actually interested in it. I'm happy to do more of them. We'll let that cutscene go for anybody who's, new to this, hasn't seen them. So that's Hall of Magic. That's open every single... Hey, Mystical Scroll. That's not bad as a reward. So that's open every single day. You can always get those. The purpose to doing these guys is to collect essences that are used in awakening monsters. So again, I've got a ton of that stuff. I'm literally just doing these because these are part of rewards. So you'll see here, if I go back here to challenge, it said challenge completed, and there's been a couple of things. You can see the Conqueror of Fire has been completed, and the Gathering Magical Powers has been completed, right? The start of the day is there, and that's just for, logging in. So yeah. So that's just part of, again, so getting back to that, going back into the Kairos Dungeon, so that was those two. Then, just to go part of my routine, there's the only other thing in the daily category is going to be this Giant's Keep. So we'll go ahead and we'll queue up Giants. As you can see, this team that I've built here, kind of a variation of the very current popular meta team, and this, they're not, everything's not 100% leveled up yet, but with the exception of my Lucian, but it still works pretty good. I did get my fastest time with this team. The current meta team is to run this exact team with 2 Melias, and that is the unit that first attacked there. She is the Wind Dryad. I don't have 2 Melias. Instead, I have Orochi, who I just used, and actually you can see Orochi's going to die. So this actually is not good. This is going to wipe. Which is super unfortunate. That doesn't usually happen. So we're gonna try that one more time. This sometimes happens in Summoners War, especially when you're trying out your new teams. The team I was using before, didn't have any problems, but it was just a little bit slower as you kind of a more classic team. The idea with this team is designed to put all these continuous damage, which are the little skulls, and then those tick off, or that fire fairy over there blows them up like that. So that's what this team is designed to do. Apparently here, oh, you know what it is? I probably got destroyed by the crystals. Yeah, so this is why we bring Lucian. Lucian is there, because those crystals can hit pretty hard. And Lucian is good to get through those waves. Here's the animation for the giant. Roar. He's big. And then, yeah, this guy will actually, you guys will see, this will go really quick. I saw that. She just exploded that up. So, yeah, so that less than a minute. My best time's 49 seconds. Just not bad, you know. And here is the rune, which is not good. We're going to go through, I'll go through runes and all of that. But yeah, so that's Giant's Keep and everything in Kairos Dungeon there. That is part of our dailies. So one of the next thing that's going to be on the dailies, now I usually do this in the repeat battle, but just, you know, for today, so we go into a stage here, and we use a friend monster, right? So we'll say, you know, I'll just take Shaver. His homunculus here. And we bring in, you know, I'll bring in these guys and this guy. So, why am I doing this? Basically, so this is a friend that I have their account, and they have a representative monster. Every player in Summoners War has the ability to set a rep monster, and then you can become friends with up to 50 other players in the game, and then you guys can use each other's friend, you know, rep monsters to do content in the game. So this stage right here was the original kind of well, this is the first stage in the original final stage of the game. So the game. So what I mean by that is, so here, let me go out to the back to the world map here. So right here, this famed volcano, that used to be the end stage, and then they went ahead and they created this area, and that Druga Remains became the new end of the game. But this used to be the original, and this used to be down here, the last stage. But this first stage was famous for being a stage that was really easy to farm, provided good experience, right? And there's a daily mission to fight with a friend, I think 3 times. And so, yeah. So the game's changed things now. You used to only be able to bring in, you know, your friend monster once. So you could essentially, you have 50 friends. So you could use each one once, right? Well, the game, after 5+ years, introduced a repeat battles, which is huge, really, really big. And because of repeat battles, you couldn't really bring your friend monsters in because you could only use them once. And so the game decided that now they would allow you to use your friend monster 10 times. You can still only use 50 uses, right? So now it's basically like, instead of being able to use every friend rep monster once, you can only use, you know, 5 different friend rep monsters 10 times. Because you can still only use 50 times. But, you know, listen, they're doing it so that you can do the repeat battle. I respect that. I'm doing it here just to be able to, you know, I'll show you guys my daily process. But normally, I would go through, I would queue up repeat battle, you know, set one of these on, let it just auto go, you know, do something else in the background, right, while I repeat. But you can see it works out really quickly. It doesn't take very long at all. And while I was doing that, excuse me, while I was doing that, I was able to level these guys up. So now they're max level. And that has been completed, right? So there's still some more quests I can do. Some of them are going to be super, straightforward and simple, like powering up. Before we power up, we're going to summon, because we also have to summon. This is Summoner's War, and you guys will see here, I've got a lot of summons, right? So at some point, maybe do a big summon video for people interested in that. But what I like to do is I like to go ahead and just summon off some junk, some fodder. The game wants you to summon 3 times, which is super easy to do. I like to do this just to kind of blast some fodder. I've got so much unknown scrolls that I've got a lot of this, so 5,000, almost 6,000 of these. So I like to pop these off 10 at a time, and just bank up on fodder. So that's what I like to do. Get those summons. You can see the challenge now. It's got an 8 down there on it. So now we power up, and what I can do is some of those monsters that I just took out and leveled up. You can see they say max 15, so I've got this guy here, and what I want to do is I'm just going to pop in here and grab something from Sealed Shrine, just to be able to level these guys up. So I'm just taking, this was a 1-star monster, right, and I leveled it up really quickly, powered him up, and now he's 2-star. And I'm doing, this is what I mean by fodder. These monsters are not monsters. Like, I'm not doing this to use them in any way. I'm doing it just to use them to evolve things, right? Because that's how this game works. We level something up. So now I can level up a 2-star monster, and then I can use 2 of these 2-star monsters to turn them into 3-star monsters. And then I can use 3 of the 3-star monsters to turn these 3-star monsters into 4-star monsters. And you get the idea. And that goes all the way up to 6. And that's the highest. So it does take a bit. It's easy to go 1, 2, 3, but once you start getting into the, you need to make something a 6-star, it does take a little bit of time. So it's always good to just kind of, build up some fodder. Sometimes you can have a dedicated day for it, but again, at my point, I've got tons of fodder. I'm really just, it's a habit right now. It's a routine just to kind of go through the dailies, go through the day-to-day. Ruining something, or I should say powering up runes, is another thing. So usually what I do is I have something that I've just, built or thrown runes on that I haven't, powered them all up yet. That's something that I typically will do. And so that's usually, like here, for example, it's funny. I haven't even powered her speed rune up yet. She's already the fastest on that team, and doesn't need to be any faster, but there's no reason not to power the rune up. And you guys can witness one of the more frustrating parts of Summoner's War, which is waiting for runes to power up. It costs mana resources every time, but again, at this point, you get quite a bit of mana. So there we go, that powered up. And again, I'll do more of a focus on runes at some point, because they're super important aspect of the game. And again, I like to go through monster box. You can see There's a ton of units there, and then we've got storage down here, which has a ton of units. So anyway, we'll go through that. We'll discuss that. I don't want the video to be too long. So yeah, let's see. What do we have left? Okay. So basically here, go into this community tab, right? And we'll just move this because I need to access my friend tab, and I need to send my friends some stuff. Go here. Gonna check in. Yeah. Check in with the guild. There we go. And now I think all we had left was to do arena. So again, I'll probably do another video on arena. So this is just 3 times in arena. We do have a rival. I do always recommend you just do your rivals. This is gonna, for people who don't know the game, you don't know what I'm talking about, but for people who know this game, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. But they're super quick and easy, and you get crystals. You get resources for it. So there's really no reason. I'm a huge fan of free stuff. So yeah. All right, nobody here to revenge. Let's just do a couple. So this should be good. Like an actual team. I don't typically look out for that. This is a cleave team that I use. So I use Tiana here. 3rd skill, Wind of Change, which strips and increases attack bar. And then I have that tuned so that Galleon moves next, and he does his time to loot skill to put up the defense break. We did not get Daphnis on the other side. And then I have Zaros scheduled to go next, where he uses a fiery breath, can do some damage, but he also does the cooldown. So you can see he actually killed Logan. And then Alicia will go next to kind of finish things off. And so that's that cleave. This isn't anything new. I think this is a really, really old school cleave, but I think it's really good. So yeah, I use it. Actually, my Tiana too is not even that old. She's somebody I probably got within the last 6 months, maybe. So yeah, super stoked about that. Let's see, we got to do one more. So again, this could be interesting because this tableau is probably fast. So yeah, let's do this. Let's see how this goes. This has a potential to not go well, guys. So yeah, look at that. That Nikki was fast. Okay, so that's interesting. I actually had to make my Tiana slower. Tiana was so fast when I first built her compared to where everything else was, and it was not working, right? So even now, it's tough. Not everything's on will, but usually, because I'm just worried something's going to cut in on me, but we'll see. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. So yeah, so that should be enough to get the secret mission, right? To pop up. Alright, let's see what the secret mission is. Ruler of Dark. Okay, so what we can do is I can kind of pop up the repeat motion here. So the repeat battle just kind of gives you access to the majority of what we were looking at before. And so this is a Ruler of Dark mission. So this is going into the Rift dungeon and doing the Dark Beast. And this is the team. Looks like I've been using Wind Panda Chassoon, Twins, Crow, and Zero Two. I wonder why I would use Chassoon. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and fire it up. And so yeah, so you can see there's a couple of different things we can do, right? You can see the screen's a little bit off. We can actually pull it up and get a full screen version, and it will just be on auto, which is fine. And for the first run we can do that because you got to do this several times in order to complete the quest. So you can see this guy's down the first time. We got defense break on there. I mean, defense break is great, but it would have been nice to get some more debuffs. I'm probably going to look at this team. There we go. See what other things I can bring to provide some debuffs. It's probably been a while since I've seriously, looked at this. You just usually get something on there. You get triple S, and then you're kind of like, all right, and you move on, and you don't look at it much anymore. Now he's back up. And the biggest, part to this mechanic is multi-hits. You can see every time we hit, we're reducing the count on that soul chain. And then we'll be able to get our monster back. It's actually great when he takes Chassoon, because, yeah. That's nice for her to be able to do what she just did, but ultimately I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I don't know, it worked, and it wasn't, I guess it wasn't that long, and it did work. So anyway, so it's gonna keep doing it over and over again. So the other thing we can do while that's happening, that we don't need, is we can shrink that down. And then while that's going on in the background, we still have access to other things, right? Which is kind of cool. So we can go over here to the Temple of Wishes. We can pull that open. We can make a wish. So 10 crystals, that's not bad. And we're going to collect these. So you can see we haven't quite hit the Ruler of Dark yet because it hasn't gone through 3 of them, because I think it's 3 times. So you can see it's got the tally, 1 out of 3. Okay? So we can go ahead, and one of the other things we haven't done here is the World Boss. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get that fired. You can do this while you're auto battling in the background, which is really nice, for being honest. This is something that we've been wondering, if they were going to make any changes or update this in any way. They really haven't. But it's kind of cool. I mean, the animation's kind of neat. You can skip through it. But it's kind of cool. And I just, let the system auto-pick my 20 best units. Get triple S, which is nice. You can see contribution wise, right? So I can see like my vigor did the most damage or most, contribution with bested right behind them, then Wusa, etc., etc. Okay? So, and then the treasure box. Not bad, actually. No crap runes. And L&D summoning pieces. So, not bad. Triple S, actually not bad. You can do it 3 times, and you should. You can usually get Triple S twice on my first 2. Sometimes double S on the second one. So it's going to be the same, animation each time. So like I was saying before, you can just skip. I'm just hitting the skip in the lower corner. And that gets down to this point at the end where you get to your result. Yeah, so I was able to get the Triple S again. Get a second Triple S box, and now you can see the difference in the boxes, right? This time we got some crappy white runes, a 3-star white rune. That's amazing for, wow, that's the best, ranking you can get in this. And that's probably one of the worst things you can get in this. So, but yeah, waiting for them to update the world boss in some way, but it's kind of just, something you can do every day, get a little extra resources. Yeah, double S on my last one, because at that point, now you're talking about monsters 41 through 60. So the rune quality ain't probably going to be a lot of fire monsters, which has the weakest. Like attribute relation. So I'm trying to think about what that word was. So this particular world boss, the boss is water is going to be the strongest against it. Anyway, so that's that. I've not done guild battle, but at this point, I think the video's getting on the long side, and I'll definitely do more of these, and I'll do some guild battles. And now we've got all of our challenges, so we basically go here and collect these rewards, just like that. And daily is done. This achievement over here is actually my homunculus thing, which I'm not collecting because, and honestly, I should at this point. And I should change my homunculus over, but so yeah, so that's daily missions done, world boss done. Yeah, so I've got this roll in here, which I'll probably just let. Oh, look at that, a legendary. Hey, that ain't bad. It's got speed on it. We'll go ahead and throw a couple of power-ups into that. Unfortunately, the rest of the rolls are pretty bad. Yeah, rolls into fine attack. This is a really good look into the frustration of Summoner's War. Yeah, the rolls aren't good on that. I mean, it's still, if it rolls into speed, that's the problem. If it rolls into speed, I'd probably still use it. Ugh. Now it's like, no, I'm not going to use it. Even though it's a legendary, I'm not going to use it. It's no good. No good to me. All right. So again, I don't want to get too overwhelmed with going into rooms and things like that. I think this video has been long enough as it is. So this was my dailies. Yeah, this was Summoners War. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm probably going to do some more, but definitely let me know if you're interested in this game. I can do a lot more. I can go a lot more in depth about certain things if you're not familiar with it. Again, there's a lot of Summoners War content out there. So, you know, experienced players, guys, go watch Bagel, go watch Sean B, go watch Childish, go watch all of the different people out there that have been doing this for a really long time. But, you know, because I'm not going to do anything that's groundbreaking, but if anybody's new or if anybody is like checking this out and they're interested in more, definitely let me know things that you might be interested in, and I'll be happy to kind of cover those. Because I think a lot of the content creators today just kind of assume you know how to do everything. There are lots of old videos out there for sure, but for anybody that's new and is kind of like, oh, you know, this, I could probably help you out. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I hope that some of you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. All right.